Hello. Today we're going to figure out to find the equation of a line when given 2 points. So if you have drawn a graph and you have 2 points, if you notice I used some larger points, and I'm going to show you how you can do this on the calculator. We know from our lesson that equation of a line basically describes the line, whereas the slope shows the steepness of the line. Okay? Given these 2 points, the first step we need to do is to find the slope. Before we start with that, let me just remind everybody what is the equation, what is the formula for the equation of a line. So the formula for the equation of the line is y equals, I'll put it up here, mx plus b. And you have to remember that m is always the slope, and the b, I'll make this a little bit slimmer so you can read it, the b will be the y-intercept. I'll just put the y-int for intercept. So if you know the m and you know the slope and you know the b, which is the y-intercept, then you can easily plug it into the equation to give you the equation for that line you've drawn. So let's go ahead and get started. What is the equation, or what is the formula for slope? The formula for slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, now let's show how to do that using our example here. So our y's we're going to subtract are negative 3 minus 8 over negative 11 minus 10. Okay, if you're not sure how to work with integers, you could simply enter it into the calculator. So if you have a negative 3 minus, make sure you use that minus sign, your 8, you're going to get negative 11. And the bottom, if you have a negative 11, make sure you use the negative sign, which is here, minus subtraction sign, 10, subtract 10, will give you negative 21. Now that is our m. This is our m here. Now we've already checked off one of the items we need before we write our equation of a line. Now there is a formula you can use called the point slope formula, but let me show you a different way you can find the equation of a line by just substituting in one of the pairs of points into the equation for the y and the x. So I will choose to use this pair of points. I'm going to substitute the y, which is negative 3. I'm going to substitute the m, or the x, which is negative 11, and the m has already been given. I'm going to substitute this into the equation to determine what b is. So let's go ahead and do it. So you have y is negative 3 equals, the m we've said is negative 11 over negative 21. Two negatives means that is a positive slope of 11 over 21 times our x, which is negative 11. And we're going to have that added to that plus b. B is what we need to find. Now we just use our problem solving skills, or as far as solving equations. So we're going to multiply the 11 over 21 by the negative 11. So we know it's going to be a negative answer when you multiply, because a negative times a positive is a negative. If you have trouble multiplying a fraction and a whole number, you are allowed to use the calculator. So the way you would enter that in is open parentheses, 11 divided by 21, close parenthesis, times 11. And of course, you're going to get a decimal. But if you have a graphing calculator, you can hit the math button and enter twice. It will change it to a fraction. Okay? So we can use the fraction, but in this case, it may be a little easier just to start with the decimal and in the very end to change it back. So since you can round it off. This would be 5.76. We're going to round it to the nearest hundredth. So this multiplied will give us 5.76 plus b. And that's going to be a negative 5.76 plus b equals minus 3. So now you're going to have to solve for b. So you're going to add 5.76 to both sides to eliminate the 5.76. So we know how to do that. So when we move the 5.76 to the other side, we're crossing it out. That means there's nothing here with the b. And we added 5.76, a negative, and we moved it over. It was a positive now. So we've added a positive 5.76 to our negative or minus 3. Okay, so we know this is a minus 3. It's considered to be a minus, so we're going to subtract 3. And we end up with the b being 2.76 as our b. Okay, now the final answer, I need a little room here, is, since we have our b, which is 2.76, we have our slope, which is, let me get the pen back, a slope which is right here, negative 11 over negative 21. So just plug that into what we have here, and we end up with y equals, our m is 11 over 21, x, so leave the x and y there for when you write the equation, plus 2.76. That's it.